We start with news of a second overseas trip by President Lee Jae Myung, this time to neighboring Japan for a summit in the hometown of his Japanese counterpart Sanae Takaichi on January 13th. Our Cheong correspondent Yoo-jin reports.
President Lee Jae Myung is set to embark on his second overseas trip of the year, heading to Japan just a week after wrapping up his visit to China. The president will visit Japan's Nara Prefecture for 2 days starting Tuesday for talks with Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi.
The summit in Nara, Prime Minister Takaichi's hometown, is expected to further deepen the personal rapport between the two leaders and solidify shared understanding on advancing a future-oriented South Korea-Japan relationship.
This will mark their second summit following their first talks in Gyeongju ahead of the APEC Leaders Meeting last October. Summit talks will be held shortly after President Lee arrives in Japan on Tuesday afternoon. The two leaders will discuss boosting bilateral cooperation across a wide range of areas, including artificial intelligence, people-to-people exchanges, and combating scam crimes. Notably, sensitive historical issues will be on the table.
We hope working on historical issues, including the Chosei coal mine, as an opportunity for humanitarian cooperation between South Korea and Japan.
The site of the mine, where more than 100 forcibly mobilized Korean laborers were killed in a flooding accident in 1942, has been drawing attention following efforts to recover the remains of the victims. Regional and global issues, including the situation on the Korean peninsula, will also be on the agenda. Regarding the possibility of discussions on China-Japan tensions following Prime Minister Takaichi's remarks on Taiwan, the National Security Advisor said such topics are often raised when leaders discuss regional affairs, adding that similar issues were addressed during President Lee's summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping. The summit will be followed by a joint press briefing and a dinner. On Wednesday, President Lee and Prime Minister Takaichi will visit the Horyuji Temple, one of the prefecture's most iconic landmarks. The president will then meet with the local Korean community before returning home. The Blue House says President Lee's visit this time is expected to further strengthen Seoul and Tokyo's future-oriented, stable relations. At a time of shifting global dynamics and growing regional tensions, eyes will be on how President Lee will balance ties with neighboring countries. Yoo-jin, 아리랑뉴스.